Okay, so here is the process for adding stuff to the VSC, right? So this is the next step. First we make the arrays in the Word file, then we have to add it to the VSC, and then we redeploy, right? So this is step 2. First, we go to the arrays channel, _arrays. I have this starred at all times so that I can easily access it. Inside of there, you can type anything like going in or whatever, right? So you have to do this, though, to make sure, and use it as a double check, right? So the last person is definitely out. That was me earlier today. But it's definitely out, so that's good. And you can see, okay, Merc went in and then she went out, and she saved a D. That's nice. I got out and I saved a C. It's nice to just let people know. Why? Because we want to make sure we're always using the most recent version so that stuff doesn't get overwritten. We did try some online code editors, and unfortunately they literally crashed the second day of our using them. Like their servers crashed and just were non-functional. Which is bad, and so that, doesn't work out so well. Okay, cool. So first we type and we say that we're in. Then we're going to bring up the thing called VSC, Visual Studio Code. It's Microsoft's code editing thing, right? And if you have something in here already, just make sure that you X out of it. Okay, we don't want any old ones. We're going to always go to the folder. I actually have this saved, Vor Method Helper VMH. But if you don't have it saved inside of your VMC folder, it's just right down here, right? So Vor Method Helper VMH. You're going to make sure that you have the most recent one. So 129. Yeah? I like this visual version better. By the way, if you want to do this, it's Alt-Z, which is kind of nice. Okay, then let's say that you're working on some kind of an algebra file. So let's say I wanted to make edits to A170, right down here. So here I am all the way down here, and I have my array file, which I was just kind of doing edits on, blah, blah, blah. Then I'm going to replace, find and replace. I'll drag this over here. Caret P with quote, comma, quote. So I've talked to you guys a little bit about this in previous videos. Replace all. Okay. Then we're going to select this whole thing. And because we've made edits, we're just going to delete the entire row and replace it with a whole new row. Now, if there were any issues at this point, it would say, no problems have been detected. Okay, it would say that there's problems. There would be little, red things with the exclamation points and all that jazz. So we just double check, no problems in the workspace. Cool, that's good. And then, because I'm a new user coming in here now, I'm not because I was the one in here earlier, but it doesn't matter. Because I'm a new user, okay, theoretically, I'm going to save as. And I'm going to add an A to the end of it. Save. Yeah? And now it has saved. Awesome. So I'm going to change that. It goes back to the other viewing version. Anyway, then I come back over here and I undo that because obviously we want it to be saved in this manner. And it is still saved because, when you undo. Awesome. So that's all of that stuff. Yeah? Now if you go back into the Vor Method Helper file, there's an A there. So now that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to add that one thing. Now I have to close it out, right? So I usually will X out of this just to remind myself not to use it again, because by the next time I come back to the VSC, probably I'm going to need a new version, right? Somebody will have saved an A by then. And then I'm going to go ahead and close out of Visual Studio Code because I don't need that anymore. And then, very, very important, I'm going to put out, and I'm going to say that I saved an A, right? So I saved an A version for today. When it's a new day, by the way, you just use like today's date. So I would change it to like 1:30 for tomorrow. But for now, we're going to use, 129, 2020 A, and then B, and then C, and then D, and then whatever. However many versions we use. So that's the whole process. First we go in here, then we do the VSC thing. Make sure you're using the most up-to-date version, not earlier versions, okay? It's got to be the most up-to-date version. Make sure that you do check for any errors every single time you add anything at all. And then make sure that you do state that you have left, just so that everybody else knows, right? Like, you might, leave and then, leave your whole computer. And it's like, well, shit, I really need to know, are you here? Are you in it? Have you edited? Or did your edits get saved? And then edits will get, completely deleted. And sometimes that's a bigger issue. Sometimes it's maybe not as bad, but sometimes it can be a really big issue. So, that's the process. Ready, set, go.